Hey, welcome back, fish muggers. So I wanted to do a quick little episode today on what I feed my fish. As you can see, it's pretty extensive here. I'm going to go over each one and give you an overview. A lot of times when my customers come to buy plants and stuff, we get to talking because I'm a talker. You notice that. And they always ask, like, how much food or what do you feed, and what do I do? So like there's a lot of confusion in it, and there's a lot of products on the market, and I just wanted to clarify a few things. When they ask me that question, I say everything. What do I feed my fish? Everything. I feed them everything. So it's funny, like I've accumulated a lot of products here over the years, and it goes pretty sparingly. You don't feed your fish a lot, so it lasts a long time. But when I was at a couple shows, especially like Aquashella, I got a bunch of like free samples. So then I put them into these like little containers and stuff, and so let's see. We'll just go through here. So one of these is a product called Super Color Pellets. Small Super Color Pellets. This is the brand. I cut the little label off so I knew what it was. That's the brand. Okay? I got another sample over here. This was supposedly for picky eaters. I wonder if you can see it through there. Yeah, that's what it was. Oh, okay. All right. So, and it's supposed to be like picky eaters that won't, necessarily eat the food, but you want to kind of trick them into eating dry food, and maybe they only eat bloodworms, because this is what it looks like. It looks like little tiny bitty bloodworms, but it's dry. It's a dry food. I can't say that it works to trick the fish, because my fish eat everything. I've only had a couple fish that were picky eaters. Let's see. I got this as a free sample. It was a little beta pack. So I have beta fish. I have beta food for years here. My sister stopped doing beta fish. She had some, so she gave me her food. And I bought a beta fish from somebody, and it came with this food. And then I'd already bought this for my betas, so I already had that. So look, I have all this for beta food. So a lot of times if you buy your fish on Marketplace, they'll give you all the food too. Like one guy had cichlids, so he gave me this giant thing of cichlid food. Look, I'll start working on that. So so I got beta food here. And one of the things I also got was the freeze-dried bloodworms. And then this little pack right here, this is called the Beta Dilatreat. Cute, right? And that, I almost finished that. It's kind of dust in there right now. So you just turn the dial and you give them, I always put it in my hands first, not directly into the aquarium, because you might inadvertently dump way too much, which I'll tell you about because it happened to me 2 days ago. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. I'll tell you in a minute. All right, so what else we got here? Right here, this is just a bunch of cichlid food, more cichlid food. It was actually the Aquarium cichlid pellets, and they were small, and I liked them when my cichlids were smaller, but now my cichlids have gotten nice and big, and so I can give them bigger things. And I just put it into this container. I ripped the label off of it because I like having them in containers instead of these dumb little bags. But I saved the bag so you guys can see it because I just actually topped it off here. But this was a cichlid food that I got when I bought some cichlids, or actually when I bought all these tanks, the guy had a bunch of cichlids, and it came with this food right here. And for me, these pellets were too big. Look how big this is, right? So my fish couldn't even eat that, but they can now. They're big guys now, so they eat that. And I bought some of this at a show to get a discount or something like that. I can't even remember what. I got something for free Oh, I got this for free if I bought like this product. I don't even remember. And these are almost like pellets, but they're kind of like elongated. And I'll give that to the cichlids too, because it's big food, so I can't really give it to much of anything else. Maybe I could give it to these tetras right here. But you know, when I'm feeding, I'll just alternate these foods. So like they're getting a good variety of everything, you know? My fish absolutely love this stuff right here. Bug Bites by Fluval. I'm gonna have to keep getting up, aren't I? Bring it in here close to you. Yeah, Bug Bites by Fluval. Good stuff. Really good. They love this. Let's talk about the guppies. All right. I have baby guppies, so I give them this. Really good. It's like a powder, and I put it on the surface, and then I kind of push it down on the surface when you know, like I'll push it down so that it's going down underwater, so little babies can get to it. And then I got the royal guppy. Guppies, they go insane for this. They love this stuff. Now here's what happened to me the other day. I was feeding the guppies, and I grabbed what I thought was this container, but I instead grabbed the shrimp pie. And I was on the phone talking to somebody, and I wasn't even paying attention. And look, it's wide open, right? So on this container, it's not wide open. There's like one hole exposed right there. So I can literally like that and shake the food down into the aquarium. I got extra food now, but I can do it just like that. So I pop this thing open and I go bam, 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 and I go like I'm gonna like shoot it down. And I'm surprised I even left some in there because of like how fast it went. And then suddenly all these pellets came out in the aquarium and I freaked out. So I fished them out by hand in here. You see, there's like little rocks and stuff in there. But it took me like an hour to get these all out of there so those guys wouldn't overfeed and I wouldn't change my water parameters. And oh my God, I was freaking out. But yeah, you don't want to overfeed, right, guys? That'll cause all kinds of issues. That's what happened to me the other day. But so I took this and I put it on some wax paper and I dehydrated it in my oven. I can still feed it to them. It's still good food. You know, it's just going to live in here. Since we're over on this side of the table, then I've already talked about the shrimp, right? So what I feed the shrimp. And I got them actually this new stuff right here. I actually like this brand, Ultra Fresh. I'm kind of happy with this brand as far as food goes. You know, it's not too expensive and my fish just love it, you know. So like if you remember from my other shrimp video, I was talking about how I used to feed them the shrimp pie because I thought it was for shrimp, and it's not. The tropical shrimp pie is actually for like cories and bottom feeders, cories and plecos. So I was like, shrimp pie, yeah, that'll be really good. And my shrimp loved it. They do. I'll probably keep feeding it to them. But I went ahead and bought what they were supposed to be eating was this stuff. Also, and I'll try to be brief on this because I already covered this in my shrimp video. But in case you didn't watch that, this stuff right here, amazing stuff. Get this. Stop the video right here and get this, okay? Really good stuff. I also made my own homemade food right here. If you look at it, it's like cut into like these little squares. It's because the way I made it like a pasty dough. And I literally made it like I got this out of the freezer, right? This is like a bunch of duckweed. And I just grabbed it and I froze it for when I'm gonna make another batch of this. And then this is like this is spinach. So these are two of the main ingredients in this stuff. And the shrimp love this stuff. And it's so dense that it literally lasts like a couple days in there. Like they don't eat it all in one day. And it doesn't, it just expands. It just gets kind of mushy in there. So I'm not worried about it like releasing stuff into the water. It never has. It's like, it's really good. So yeah, so this is duckweed. You want to know what to do with your duckweed? Feed it back to your fish. Yeah, it's a free food source. Okay. Now, this is not a food, but I give this to my shrimp too. I put it in the shrimp tanks and it's like it remineralizes. So I kind of like, I feed the tank so to speak. So it's kind of a food. It's food for the water. But it adds minerals back into your water for your shrimp. Also, in this little container right here is like that, okay? And what this is just all the leftover food that's at the bottom of containers or at the bottom, you know, that's dust. And the reason why I save this, or I take like extra pellets that I have and I grind them up with this, what's it called? Hey, let me go get it. I grind it up in there. And then what I'll make is I'll make my own dust. And what I do is I feed this to my chili rasboras. And I also have some ruby tetras that are like very small fish. So I want to make sure they're able to eat stuff. I mean, I'm sure they can do flake because the flake usually breaks down, right? Not a big deal, but like, you know, I just make it easy on them. And so I have this as a powder form. So that's why I have that over here. So those two species of fish live with my shrimp. I also put leaves in with the shrimp. So we're talking about shrimp. These are catappa. Yeah, these are catappa leaves, mini catappa leaves that I bought online. I also have magnolias on my property, so I feed them magnolia leaves. They're almost done with one now. And yeah. So different kinds of leaves, banana leaves. So that's for shrimp. All right, what else do we got here? So we did cichlids. Oh, okay, so then there's this. All right, so this white container is an API container of food, and it was huge. Like, I love the container. I can fit my whole hand in there. You see that? So I can get the food that's like all the way at the bottom. This container is not API food. Now, I have gotten the food, obviously, one time, but I didn't like the way it smelled. I thought it was weird smelling. So I was like, man, that doesn't smell very tasty. For me, you know me, I'm always smelling things like, yeah, that smells good and fishy. You know, I smell everything. But this right here is actually the tropical tropical food. I can't remember if it's like Ultra or something like that, but it's, you know, the competing product. It's at PetSmart or Petco, and I put them in this container because that other container is actually a little more narrow. But funny enough, that whole container fits in this what looks like a bigger container. Don't let sizes, look at the ounces on your containers, because like it may look like it's bigger, but it could have less in it. This stuff right here, God, I love this stuff. I mean, I don't know why. To me, it smells like bread. Look at this. It's by Extreme as well, and it's SoFly flake, SoFly larvae. God, guys, this stuff is awesome. The fish love this stuff. You really got to get this stuff. This one was $20, $21. Okay, it seems a little expensive, but this has lasted me. Well, God, I got this at Aquashella, and that was 2 years ago. Yeah, no, well, maybe a year and a half. Yeah, because it was like November or something like that, okay? So maybe a year and a half. This has lasted me a year and a half, but I'm gonna have to get some more of this. This stuff is amazing. And I'll do this on Saturday after fasting. Speaking of fasting, so after fasting, and I really need to get these back in the freezer. But so then there's these frozen things that you can buy too. And I'll do this on Saturdays as well. In fact, today is Saturday, but I'm off a day on my fasting because I had to fast on Thursday. So I fed them all yesterday. So they've already been fed all this. But this is really cool. So I got, this is brine shrimp. And you know, I don't think it matters what brand you get, just as long as you get like frozen brine shrimp in these little cube trays. Like that, see? And then what you do is you just pop these guys out of the, oh, I'm about to pop that one out. Well, I guess I'm feeding that today. That popped really easy, but you just push on it like that and it pushes it right through the tin foil. Okay, and then so I have these are frozen brine shrimp. These are baby brine shrimp. So they're a lot smaller, right? So look at the cubes are a lot smaller. See that? And that's for your little baby, your baby fish if they want to have a little something meaty. So if you have fry, it's a good thing to start feeding this sort of thing. if you don't do live brine shrimp, I'm gonna do that in another episode. I'm gonna show you how to, it's so easy to do live brine shrimp, and it's fun, it's so cool. You guys can do it. On my little system, you don't have to do it as fancy as I made it. And then bloodworms. These are a must. You've got to have some of this. I do this at least once a week. And I'll let them get like stuffed on these things. And I feed it to everybody. Whoever can't eat it, they can't eat it. It's okay. And that's all the foods, I think. Oh, and goldfish food. So it's literally this. Another aquarium. And I got this container. I haven't even opened this. I think I got this from somebody where they had goldfish, but I bought their tank. And they no longer had their fish, but they just gave me the food. I mean, this is sealed, but this one right here is still like half full. And I don't feed but about, like those little guys right there, they might get 3 or 4 of these pellets a day. So I'm not overfeeding them. And they're still nice and fat. They're supposed to be fat. They're fat. I don't know what kind of goldfish they're called. I call them fat goldfish. They're little fat guys. Let's see, did I cover everything? I think I did. Yeah, so honestly, like, you know, when you're feeding your fish and you're wondering like, well, what do I feed my fish? What should I feed my fish? I'm like everything. You know, I'll alternate these, you know, maybe once a week or once every other week they get this, and you know, and then you know, now I started trying to feed them these things. The betas, like I like this one right here the best for the betas, because my betas like are females, and the pellet size on these are like really, you know what? I'll put it here so that you see it, because these pellets are really small, and they're great because I'll get my girls when they're like really small fish, and then they'll grow into things. I mean, they grow into size or whatever, but like they'll start off really small, and their little mouths can't, you know, this other beta stuff is like these pellets are kind of big that are in here. Like if you compare, let me open it up. Yeah, you can definitely see the size difference if I don't dump it out. See this? Can you guys see that? You making that out? And like when they're bitty fish, they just run around with this pellet in their mouth. They can't even swallow it. So I realized right away, I was like, I might have to try different kinds of foods. As they get bigger, I'll move to this stuff right here. And actually, honestly, I could. I just got used to feeding them that. I think this one's kind of big too. Yeah, this might be medium size right here. Yeah, if you need to know that, like here you go. I don't know. My sister got this one, I think, and I don't even know where you can get that. But yeah, so that's it, guys. I mean, what else? Oh, well, like, so if you have a lot of plecos, for example, you want to give them fresh vegetables, you know, squash, zucchini. I think people have tried like bell peppers. You could try that too. Yeah, and oh, they really love zucchini. Yeah, they'll eat the heck out of that. And you'll see like other fish, like I know my guppies, they love it too. They'll eat on it. And you know, you'll see right away like who likes it and who doesn't. Like everybody might try it. You know, they'll see all the other fish eating it. They're like, oh my God, what is that? Is that food? You know, and everybody comes to eat it. And then you can tell right away which of them don't really like it. But having some veggies in their diet is really good for their digestion as well, because you know, it acts like a laxative. So, you know, if it's just always protein and always meat, you know, that could lead to possible problems. But like if you give them a varied diet like this, your fish are sure to be healthy. I mean, a lot of these claim, oh, you know, they bring out the colors. You're like, I think that's just BS. I don't believe that at all. You know, I've never seen my fish be more or less vibrant, maybe because this is how I feed them and I've never really noticed. But yeah, guys, it's honestly like that simple. Just try different things, and you know, if they don't eat one thing or they eat more of the other, you know, you'll get to know your fish. You'll know what they like. I mean, some definites though, really find this stuff. This stuff is great. You definitely want some of these frozen foods. These are really good. You got to do this. My shrimp love all of this. My guppies, or all of this. My guppies love this stuff. So if you have guppies, And you know, you don't, I think guppies would just eat anything, but they absolutely love this stuff. And the simplicity of this is really nice too, because you just pop it open, make sure you got the right product, right? It has this like single hole, and then you just pop it out all over the surface and you're done. And I literally like shake it on like pepper, like that, right? Yeah, and then don't confuse it with the wrong stupid bottle and yeah, end up like I did. That's it. That's all my tips, right? Big container like that, I can fit my hand down inside. This stuff they love. Get some frozen food. If this is what you got from the previous owners, then do it. The freeze dried, I mean, I don't think I'll do this again. I just had this from another previous owner. And literally I should probably just try to use it up, you know, just cause. Or I'll just take this, you know what? I'll probably just take these little containers I've had around for a while. I think I'm just gonna take these and grind them up. I'll just grind them up and then feed them to the little guys. You know what? Oh, and this stuff, bug bites. Man, they love this stuff. Hey, there's this kid out in Australia, Keeping Fish Simple or Simply Fish, Keeping Fish Simple, I think his name is. And he started his own product line that's called Bug Buffet. God, I can't wait till he starts exporting that. That stuff looks awesome. Or he makes it look awesome. He's selling it, man. I tell you what, I want some of that stuff. But until then, no, I'm stuck with bug bites from Louisville. It's good. I mean, my fish love it. My fish love it, honestly. But yeah, literally whatever you have. That's it, guys. It's that simple. Hey, I forgot. Like I was putting the stuff back in the freezer here. I think that's more duckweed right there. I don't know why it didn't like glob up, but I forgot I made this stuff right here. Nope, that's more of that. I made these packets. Look at this. This is cool. You know what this is? This is like food forever. You know what this is? I made my own food from a mixture of beef heart and raw shrimp. That's all this is right here. Beef heart and raw shrimp. And this is what I'll you know, I always forget I had this stuff and I made so much of it. But this is I'll just break off a couple little pieces and I'll put it in with the cichlids. I give it to the cichlids. And sometimes if I got really small pieces, I'll throw a couple in the community tank right there. You don't want to give them a lot of beef heart simply because it's not really like it's not a seafood. It's, you know, it's beef. Like how many fish are eating cows, right? They're not. But it's a good protein source. I wouldn't do it very often, and that's probably why it stays in here, because I'm afraid, because I kind of read something about that, but also read that, you know, it's really good for them stuff. So I was like, I went up to the supermarket, I was like, I asked the butcher, I go, do you guys have beef heart? He was like, yeah, how much do you want? I was like, I don't know, how much is it? And this is actually funny, right? So you know, I buy it. It's like super cheap, and it's really lean. He was like, you want me to trim it up for you? I was like, sure, trim it up, take all the fat off, because I told him what it was for. He was like, yeah, you got all the fat? Man, he brought me out, there's like beautiful pieces, and sliced it up and everything, and so I'm like preparing it and stuff, and you're like, I want to eat it. It smells like steak. So I took some, and I had one of those like torching cooking things where you can torch the top of your food, kind of give it like a crisp on the top or whatever, like creme brulee, or, you know, if you wanted to, I don't know, like on a steak, you would like, what's it called? Searing, like it's like a searing torch, all right? And I literally took these like little tiny pieces and I sprinkled some pepper and some salt and a little bit of garlic powder, and I hit them with the thing on both sides with the torch thing, and I ate it, and I was like, wow, this is really good. What a cheap alternative to having steak. You could eat beef heart. Like literally, it was, guys, I don't know how weird you are if you're like me. Try it, it's really good. It was surprising. Like, I'm gonna get more. Seriously, but yeah, I forgot I had this. So this is something you could try too. But as you see, it made a huge amount. I mean, I'm good for years. And I just put it into these, like, what are these? Snack bags. And I squeezed out all the air. So I squeezed it right up to the zip so that, like, so it's not getting freezer burn like this little piece is. I probably need to feed this piece right now. I think I will. But yeah, I forgot about that, guys. Beef heart and shrimp. ground it up in the blender, smoothed it all out and smushed it right up. And you got to make sure it's like really chopped fine though. You don't want like big chunks of it in there because they don't eat the big chunks. I suppose if you have like piranhas or something that could eat these, that would be good for them too. So that might be something you look into as well. You know, so I made it like into a nice little dust. Oh, there's morning. So check how fine that is. I wonder if I couldn't make this like a wet paste and then dehydrate it, make it into little chunks. I might experiment with that. I'll give that a shot, tell you guys how that went. I think that's what I'm gonna do. It made an awful lot of it. That's a lot for those fish. Look at this, guys. Add a little water. It's just a tiny bit. I think I put too much. I'm gonna go find something else to put in here. I might take some of those things that I put in the guppy tank over there that I had to re-dehydrate. Crush them up in here. Look at this paste. Yummy. That's bloodworms, Daphnia, all freeze dried, and freeze dried shrimp, or little, I guess a brine shrimp. I don't know. But yeah, Daphnia, bloodworm, mostly bloodworm. So that's what color they make when they've been freeze dried. But yeah, it's a little runny. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on this this wax paper, and then I'll just dehydrate it in the oven for a few hours on like about 100 degrees, and let them dehydrate for a few hours and then see what I get. It may just crumble to pieces, but I can still feed it to the fish. You know, they'll eat it. It's fish food. Don't waste it. Don't waste your fish food. Like I took those empty containers and I sloshed them around in the shrimp tank because it's like all dust in there, and that's like biofilm for the shrimp. They'll eat that up. They love it. Like especially like if you have baby shrimp, little shrimplets will eat that up all day. So yeah, don't waste your food. Clean up those containers and slosh it around and throw them into something. Will eat it. Hey, another quick tip: if you're gonna make your own food, like I'm making over there, I'm already dehydrating it. This is probably out of sync now. You know these little things that you get in your food sometimes, like beef jerky will have these, and other fruit, you know, like seaweed food, and you know those little seaweed sheets. You guys eat those? I love those. I don't know why. They're awesome. But you'll get these little silica gel, you know, desiccants or dehydrate. What language is that? French or something. All right, so you know, they're dehydrators. Basically, any food that you make that you want to stay dry, you don't want it to rot, you just throw these things in there, good to go. And like a little, this one's supposed to be like sealed tight. I'm assuming it is. It's kept a long time. But yeah, pro tip, hold on to those things if you're gonna make your own food. Hey, all right guys, so it's been a couple days, but I'm right now doing all the editing, and I wanted to just go ahead and show you how this stuff came out. Look at that, pretty cool, huh? I'm gonna dump some out so you can see it. But yeah, that was just all the powder, and then I put it on that paper and I dehydrated it. And yeah, this is good. I've already given some to the shrimp. They love it. And then whatever these little crumbs that it makes right there, I could still feed that right to the fish. So yeah, it's fun. You guys can do some experimentation. But yeah, pretty cool, huh? Look at that. I got food that I was gonna throw away. Or just kind of basically dump out in a tank somewhere and hope everybody ate it. Probably made this video too long. All right, really, I'm leaving this time. Bye. Bye, there's the camera.